this is part 3 of Great Bay, and in this part we're going to be getting the hook shot, obviously one of the most useful items in the game.
Now, I like that you actually get the long shot in this one.
Yeah.
You get like a smaller hook shot, and then you got upgrade. You get the big thing, long one right away.
Yep, and I think that
that's what she said.
Yeah. nice. And I think that again, we've mentioned before, when you only have like 4 areas and 4 dungeons to go through, you kind of can't waste time getting upgrades to items, like that. I mean, other than the quiver and the bomb bag and things like that, of course. But I feel like just
that short claw shot's or hook shot is one of the most frustrating items in any Zelda games. It basically gets you nowhere.
Yeah, you're like, I know I can reach that.
It's pointless. I mean, like in Ocarina of Time, I guess it basically got you into the Forest Temple, and that was it. Yeah.
But we're also in this part, we're going to get the first 4 eggs that are hidden throughout this fortress. And each egg you have to save in a bottle.
Yes.
So for the love of God, make sure you have 4 bottles before you come do this part.
Yeah. But see, this thing, like, a lot of people don't like watching like walkthroughs to get those bottles.
That's true.
I probably did the first time I played this game, and this part was probably a pain because if you don't have 4 bottles, I mean, you can't soar back here. So I mean, you just got to keep on going through. I mean, I guess you got the hook shot.
The hook shot,
so that makes it a little bit easier. But
you still have to backtrack all the way to that professor's laboratory.
Yeah, which actually you can play a Song of Soaring to get back there.
But then you have to
swim back to the Pirate's Fortress.
It's just a lot easier to have 4 bottles. And obviously, if you're watching this walkthrough, you may have watched a few earlier walkthroughs.
Yeah. I don't think we have any bottle walkthroughs for Majora's Mask up yet.
There's
an idea. Yes.
And this is just kind of a neat little touch in this room. I really love, and we kind of could only barely see in the background there, her throne that the pirate girl has.
I didn't even know.
It's like a big red, it looks like a nice big old lazy boy, but it's got like spears. It's got like spears all sticking out of the back.
A lazy boy would not be good for a throne.
No, I don't know, man.
We need something like Game of Thrones, where it's like a bunch of swords, like together.
Well, that was my first thought when I saw all the spears that are coming out of her chair. It looks kind of the same. I don't know. If I was king, I'd like a lazy boy.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be very.
You can't be a king and a lazy boy though. Yeah. That doesn't like scream out dominance or anything like that.
No, definitely not. But I just thought it's a neat little touch. I like with the spears and everything coming out. It did actually remind me of Game of Thrones with the swords and everything.
You know how easy you would get overthrown as king if you were sitting like in a lazy boy as the throne?
You see assassinate while you're reclining.
Like you would go into all the kingdoms and they'd be like, let's go take this land. They'd be fighting over who would get to fight you first. That's what they'd be doing.
Yep. Now this God, that's so true. But this fortress part isn't, again, with the mask, it's a pretty easy section. But also, if you kind of know the most direct way to go through here, it's easier as well. It is kind of easy if you go the wrong order.
Cheating. Let's be honest. It's cheating, is what it is.
But if you don't know the right order to go through the fortress to get the 4 eggs, it can be a little tough. You can do some backtracking and things like that.
And how this girl sees you and nobody else can, like with a stone mask on, is beyond me.
I have no idea, but she comes right at you with these twin swords.
And throw back to Ocarina of Time, which obviously, like you said, a lot of this game is. These are the girls that we also fought in the Gerudo Fortress.
That's right. She can be a little bit of an annoying fight. When you have the gilded sword, she's not hard at all.
Yeah, she takes less hits, obviously.
Yeah, but you see she got us 2 or 3 times and blocked a lot of our attacks. It can be a little annoying.
Well, there's another way that I actually try later on. You can use the double cutters as the sword mask, like that stuns them for a little while.
Yeah.
But it doesn't stun them for very long, so if you're like any distance away, they're not very useful in my opinion.
Plus then you gotta take the time to switch back into...
But you know us, we just like going full blown forward with the sword.
And you saw it with the gilded sword, it only took 2 hits?
Yeah, and I think the other ones maybe take 3, and I think the last one might take 4. I don't know, I dominate the last one.
She didn't have a chance, huh?
Yeah, she didn't.
And I tell you what, I think I got hit by those guys in every one of these fish
You can kill him with your, I guess that's a fin on his arms.
Your fin blades.
Yeah, but you have to have the right distance.
Yeah, and you got him good there, but I think they got me.
I got hit twice, so 3 times a charm, I guess.
I think they got me every single time, so I didn't even worry about killing them. I got down there, swooped that thing.
They only take a quarter of a heart, so who cares?
Yeah, so they're not going to do a massive amount of damage.
Although we don't have the defensive enhancement yet, which I believe we will get in the Great Bay Temple.
Yeah, if we collect all 15 fairies.
Yep.
Which, if you follow our handy guide for the Great Bay Temple, you will get all 15
fairies. Exactly.
Hey, cheap plug.
We've never done a cheap plug in any of our videos.
No, never before.
What's the point of having a YouTube channel if you can't plug other videos?
Exactly. Hey, watch our other videos. So, we've gotten 2 of the eggs now, and like I said, as long as you know the pattern to get through here, it's not bad at all. It only takes a few minutes, as you're seeing here, to get all 4 of them. But if you don't know the right way to go, it can get a little frustrating.
One thing, and this will probably this probably would have backfired if it actually would have happened, but I kind of wish that the eggs would have been scattered all over Great Bay. Like, we get 4 here, and then we get 3 later in the Sea Snakes area, Pinnacle Rock.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I probably would have hated it if they would have actually done that. But, yeah, I wish they'd just been more spread out, because I don't feel like we really explored Great Bay that much.
Not a lot,
in this video
honestly.
series, because, like, everything's always, it's all compact, really.
Yeah, which sucks, because we talked about how, it looks open.
Yes,
and it looks like there's so much potential. And you're right, we don't do a ton of actually exploring.
If they would just been all over the place, it would add it to a lot more exploring, which I would have really liked, I think.
Yeah. Oh, I like how you do try to do the double pedal.
Yeah, and I get it, I stun her, but yeah, it just, she changes off of it so fast that I was like, that's pointless.
Yeah.
Full board sword. Full blown with a sword.
Yeah, gung ho.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, by the time you switched and got in close to her, it was already gone off, so.
These were a little bit more difficult to fight. It's kind of like, you fight these like you fight those armored things in Skyward Sword. I forgot to call it, like Lizalfos.
Yeah.
Like how you kind of got killed, just getting really close to them and hitting them
and kind of swing away.
No. I think about the Lizalfos in Ocarina of Time. Like, how the best way to avoid their shield is to get right up against them. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of.
And then the best thing, obviously, you try to attack either right before or right after they attack when they're not blocking.
Yeah, because in Skyward Sword, you actually got to use the motion controls to swing from the correct angle, whatever.
Yeah, that's a whole different.
We won't get into that.
That's a whole different beast.
Yeah.
As well done as I think those motion controls were, don't get me wrong.
I do like how these eggs are kind of like in a fish tank, I guess you could say.
It's appropriate.
Yeah, I guess preserving them or whatever.
Yeah, it seems like, they would just throw them on the tank.
Even though, well,
I guess they're better protected.
They're better protected, and if somebody came and stole them, which was the
exactly
yeah, exactly. So, I mean, it's smarter to put them all in different places.
Yep.
Don't put all your eggs in one basket, or in this case, a fish tank.
Good wisdom there.
And what I don't understand is these eggs, when you get them, they're unhealthy. Yeah. Then as soon as you put them in that marine laboratory, these things are fine. These little Zords are absolutely fine. So.
And I think part of it is if you talk.
Give me some of that water in the marine laboratory.
I'd say. I think part of it is if you talk to that scientist. He mentioned something that if all 7 of them aren't together, it's not good for them.
It's kind of like when animals, when they lose one, the other one usually goes, something like that.
Yeah, kind of thing, So I think I don't hold me to that.
But they're not born yet, so how can they Zelda doesn't make sense. This is the first time Zelda's ever made sense on something.
Yeah, I'm just telling you what I think the scientist said. He's probably not a very good scientist.
Well, he's one of the few scientists in Terminus, so we don't have a choice really. We got to go to
listen to him. So it's the same way that playing
Terminus, a big town with a small town theory or whatever. There's only one scientist in the whole area.
Yeah. But I think that is at least kind of what their logic is. What I'm glad, though, every time you pick up an egg, it tells you need to get it back quick. I'm really glad there's not a timer.
No, that would have been a pain in the butt, really.
That really would have been. I mean, I just feel like...
well, I guess our timer's 3 days in this case.
Well, yeah, that's a good point. Well, after 3 days, everything's going to die anyway.
Yeah, so what's the matter?
But I think... I just think back to Ocarina of Time when you had eye drops and medicine that could spoil, and how much of a pain that was.
And the big Goron sword quest.
Yeah, how much of a pain that was running that stuff all around Hyrule Field.
Within
a certain
I just
time.
don't like quests like that because if you miss it if you miss the time, it just feels like you just wasted time. It's just kind of a pain.
And plus, I mean, you know us. We have a tendency to get lost and screw up at every turn.
And we have a lot of patience, too, so...
Yeah.
We screwed up once, we're like, forget this. I'm not doing this again.
So I'm just really glad, even though they say you need to get it somewhere quick, that thank goodness they don't time you.
And I destroyed Domination Station coming up right there.
She didn't have a
That's how it's done.
She did not have a prayer on that one.
We got to point out our good gameplay because it doesn't always happen.
Hey, we're getting better.
I remember I did that. I was like, oh. Wow, got lucky there.
It worked out great though.
It did,
And well, thankfully though, I mean, I think that's the last one we fight. This is the 4th egg.
Yeah, this is the 4th egg,
And after this, we'll kind of show you the process you would have to go through to take the stuff back to the professor or the scientist that you would have to do every time if you don't have all 4 bottles.
Yeah, And like you said, if if you were watching a walkthrough, you probably, I mean, some of those bottles are kind of tough.
Yeah.
In the beginning stages, like you probably maybe only have like 2 or so.
I honestly couldn't tell you where the 4
We would only have 2 or so. We would probably have 2 bottles.
Yeah, some of you experts out there.
Yeah, we'd probably have more than us. Man, I'm having a tough time on
you
this.
You do have to
one.
get that range right.
Yes, you got. Like I don't like being farther back from enemies. You know, I like to be like right up in their faces, and as you can see, sometimes it hurts me a little bit.
Which sucks it when you attack, like you step right into him. Mm-hmm. You know, which doesn't make a lick of sense. But
well, this is like this Zora Mask form is really the adult Link form.
Yep.
From Ocarina of Time.
So you can tell he's taller. Obviously.
And so he takes also a bigger step too. Whereas fine with small child Link.
Yeah.
His range is not as good, so that kind of threw me off with using a Zora Mask, or that's what I'm going to go with at least.
That's our story, and we are sticking to it. But we do finally have all 4 eggs here from the fortress, and that'll wrap up part 3.